How are you doing today, my lazies? This segment of the What If Naruto series is going to be a very interesting one. The topic of contention will be giving an Uchiha a Byakugan. I'll go over several different instances from a non-Sharingan mutated Uchiha having one, to a Sharingan wielder having one, to an Uchiha having both eyes as Byakugan, or even having a Danzo situation with a body full of Byakugan. I'll even give specific Uchiha examples just for fun. So with that being said, now, to start off, let's analyze a non-Sharingan Uchiha, which was actually more common than people know, as the only ones that had Sharingan in the clan were high tiers, police, or leaders of the clan, even back in the Warring States period before the village was created. Given this type of Uchiha a Byakugan in one or both eyes would actually strengthen the Byakugan, just not to the degree a Sharingan user can. If you've ever read the novels, there was a one-eyed Hyuga with only one Byakugan that clapped Shisui and Itachi while they were in the Anbu. It's rumored it was before they got their Sharingan, but given the time period, it's more likely they did and just didn't have their full Mangekyo abilities yet. Either way, to even pull that off at all is an insane feat, and Shisui still had his body flicker. So I can only imagine an Uchiha with one or two Byakugan elevating its power slightly, since you get a combination of Hagoromo and Hamura power, which could evolve the Byakugan or just make it more powerful altogether. Now, looking into a Sharingan user, the databooks actually answer this question of what happens when an Uchiha or Hyuga have both eyes. It just manifests both dojutsu in separate eyes. But now this is where the advantage comes even crazier for the Sharingan user. Now, explaining what happens if they just swap both Sharingan for a Byakugan, again, the eyes would evolve past their limit, but to a much higher degree since the Sharingan was able to manifest, meaning they have more Hagoromo DNA within them. A Mangekyo variant of the Byakugan could very well manifest like Boruto's Jogan or something greater. Above them is the dual separate-eyed variant. Most of you might not know the full extent of Byakugan since it isn't expanded on as much as the Sharingan and Rinnegan, but the true power of the Byakugan isn't in the Taijutsu advantage, but in the Ninjutsu and Genjutsu. The eye can actually enhance both to expand them within their eye range. The Air Palm, Twin Lion Fist, and other chakra control abilities that come from this eye can be expanded to beyond a 5-kilometer range along with Genjutsu. Having a Sharingan level Genjutsu enhanced and then expanded to beyond 5 kilometers is a new level of OP, considering they're from 2 of the 3 branched families. This could also awaken the Tensegan or something similar like a Rinnegan, since again we have Hagoromo and Hamura's lineage, making an Otsutsuki level variant of power. Expanding to an even crazier level of power, let's say they pull a Danzo or Shin Uchiha and cover their body with Byakugan. This would actually make their eyesight similar to the Rinnegan with no blind spot for the eye. That's the limit of power, along with enhancing abilities for the non-Sharingan users. Adding in the Sharingan in both eyes, one eye, or just replacing them with the Byakugan while the body is covered with Byakugan, this would just increase the range of abilities to an insane degree while draining stamina much more rapidly. There's even a chance the Byakugan turns into Tensegan or a variant of it while turning the Sharingan into Rinnegan due to combining heritage. This could become a major issue, considering a Tensegon comes with truth-seeking orbs usually, so even a variant of it would be insane since you gain a chakra cloak almost equal to KCM at the very least. Couple that with the range your abilities can be expanded and enhanced now, and this is a dangerous combo. Now, for the part everyone wants to know, how would this affect some of the Uchiha we know? Starting with the least impressive, let's say Fugaku Uchiha or Izuna Uchiha got any of the variations named before. Fugaku was a master of Genjutsu, and Izuna was a counter for Tobirama, so adding Byakugan to the mix would undoubtedly make them much more powerful. Fugaku boasted that he could control a Kyuubi Jinchuriki, so it's safe to say he'd be in the Madara and Obito range with any Byakugan variant, if not a bit higher. Same with Izuna, as he's basically featless, so we don't have much to go off of. Moving to a more interesting duo, we get Itachi and Shisui. Already knowing their abilities and having them enhanced by Byakugan would be insane. Itachi would have Mangekyo and Tensegon, or even a Rinnegan with Byakugan, or Tensegon with Rinnegan, making a crazy set of new abilities, while his old abilities become even more OP than they already are with Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu, a KCM level chakra cloak with his Susanoo, Totsuka blade, enhanced power and range for Tsukuyomi when it's already nigh unbreakable, truth-seeking orbs, and Rinnegan abilities. Same with Shisui having a more enhanced and ranged Kodo Amatsu Kami with enhanced speed and power along with Rinnegan abilities, truth-seeking orbs, and a chakra cloak. Imagine how OP this duo would actually be. Moving on to an even more impressive duo, we have Madara and Obito. Now Madara has strange abilities that may or may not be canon, like his time reversal, and his limbo isn't clarified as a Mangekyo ability or not, and his Susanoo is the largest and most physically powerful, so adding in the fact that he already had Rinnegan, and couple that with Tensegon or Byakugan would make him even more insane than he already is. I don't even want to imagine what he'd do with that level of power considering what he already did in his Six Paths mode. This mode would be much more powerful, ironically, but even more dangerous. In Obito, he's shown, at least through Kakashi, that he can actually manifest a Susanoo if he wanted to. So couple an enhanced Kamui with Tensegon and Rinnegan abilities would make him just as powerful, but much more dangerous than Madara, as they're already pretty relative when we see them work together. Not to mention Madara has Senjutsu as well, so this duo is not the one you'd want with any of the variations that I named earlier. Now, for the final duo, we have Sasuke and Sarada. The least impressive will be Sarada, as we basically have a similar scaling to Fugaku, which isn't a bad thing, but compared to her father, it's not even worth comparing. Sasuke already has a Sharingan, so couple on a Tensegon with that, since his body is evolved due to the Six Paths power, and now give him a KCM cloak, truth-seeking orbs, enhanced teleportation, and even flame control and Rinnegan abilities also being enhanced, is the most impressive version of this combination, unless we add the Six Path versions of Madara and Obito with the eyes, which would make them significantly more OP, since they'd basically be beyond Kaguya and all of the Otsutsuki we've seen and are going to see. The trinity of Sharingan, Tensegon, and Mangekyo, along with Jubi power, would just be too much to scale at this point. I hope this was a fun concept for you to ponder. Let me know what you believe that combinations would yield. The possibilities are definitely endless now considering the Uchiha abilities. I love to see something similar happen in a series, but alas, they're not that creative with the new series. Hopefully Kishimoto co-signs my Naruto sequel since I dive into the things that expand the series as a whole. But until then, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to stay lazy.